When you get to be my age, it's a little difficult to change your thought process. 2 years ago, I would have said, yeah, I don't like wind chimes. Grumble, grumble. I'm old. Marigold has changed my mindset on wind chimes, because what they've done is they've taken the time to treat a wind chime like a musical instrument. Now you're going to see some colors, and I want you to know these have been remarkably popular. I have 2 different lengths, and they are 2 distinctively different sounds. I've got a 36-inch length, and I've got a 51-inch length. Both of them are beautiful. I have a personal preference. I really, really adore these longer lengths because it's more of the chimes or the bells of a cathedral, whereas the 36, which is what I have here, is more of a lighter tone. Each one of these tubes is hand exactly tuned to a particular note on the scale, instead of just leaving it by some choice of chance as to whether or not they work. Now, in the 36-inch, I've got about 720 left in this blue. I also have a gray available to you, and I have 9 left in the teal. I've already had several colors that have sold out. If you want this yellow, it's only available in the 51-inch and very limited. I then have a gray, a teal, and the blue that I showed you before. They're priced very reasonably. This is a perfect Mother's Day gift. I think it's also a great Father's Day gift. These wind chimes, to me, create a sense of calm. Oftentimes, I've heard wind chimes that just sound like the clinking of metal. These are beautifully done. Jennifer, that was a long admission of change, but you and I have talked about this before. Most wind chimes, they don't take the time to really turn them into a musical instrument. This they did.
I know. I'm so in love with these wind chimes. This is the original set that we had brought to QVC, I think it was 2 seasons ago.
Yes.
At this point. And now the 36-inch option was so popular, like customer top rated. Everyone loved it for obvious reasons, that we brought another length to this set, the 51-inch option. So now you have the set that you love, the sound that you love, but in a different octave. Yeah. And I love how we've given you that deeper option. I have the yellow with me here, which is just so friendly. It's like the color of daisies. It's perfect for spring. And what makes these so special is what's in the name. They're hand tuned. And what that means is that every single bell that's hanging from the set, it corresponds to a different note. It's a different length. It's a different note. And we check each and every one by hand to make sure that when the wind blows like it is now, I'm not touching them at all. When the clapper goes around and it hits the notes, it hits exactly the right pitch. It's not too sharp. It's not too flat or anything. It's exactly perfect the way that it should be. And these are made from a very special metal alloy, which means that they're not going to rust. They're not going to fade, like the color's not going to fade. But more importantly, the sound, that wonderful sound that you're hearing right now, that's never going to change. It's never going to lose its tone. It's always going to stay just like that. Isn't that beautiful?
I thought it was really interesting the way the craftsman did it. I can show it a little better on my camera because we're in the studio, Jennifer. But I'm just going to grab one of these pipes, and it doesn't matter where my camera comes in. The way they determine the note, normally what they do when wind chimes are made is they just cut the length of the pipe in hopes that they're all going to be the same, but they never are. So it's the way that they actually put these into a device. And if you've ever been to a woodworking shop and you've had someone who has done lathe work,
yes,
that's how they do it. And it's the shaving of literally thousandths of an inch in different depths when you run your fingers over this, you can tell that the clear metal, that is the metal of the pipe. Just by shaving it just that much, they can change the pitch and tone until they get the exact note that they want. It's like taking a glass of water and a spoon and adding water to it or detracting water until you got the perfect pitch. And it takes a musician to be able to do that, as well as an artisan and a metalsmith to do it right. That's why I was impressed by these. I'm impressed by the respect that they granted on their own product. They're beautiful. They sound great.
I love how you described that. It's like doing, you know, music with water glasses. You have to have just the right amount of water. Same thing, you have to have just the right length and thickness of metal for these to hit the right note. And we've built other fabulous features in here for you. You can see in that video, we have a hook here, so you can hang it either from a shepherd's hook or from a tree branch if you like in your yard. We have a metal circle up top here, and what that does is it keeps all of the bells separate, so that way as they're hanging as a set, they don't get all tangled up in the wind.
Right.
And what's really cool is that the clapper here in the middle is adjustable. So there's a little switch here. You just kind of push it in and you can raise this up to reduce the volume. So if this is a little too loud, you can raise it up to maybe here instead of being in the middle, and they just chime a little bit more quietly. So if you live in a townhome or somewhere where everybody's really close together, you can sort of turn the volume down, so to speak, by raising that up and down, which I think is pretty cool.
And here's something that small children don't have. There is an off switch, okay? You can actually take that all the way up into the center hoop, so that, I mean, then you really have to have a lot of breeze to be able to get any noise whatsoever. The blue is what I've got in front of me, and that's been very popular in both the 36 and the 51 inch. But then if you want this really pretty gray, you can pick that up in either one. I've got less than, what, 350 or so in the 36 inch, a few more in the 51. If you want the teal, the teal just sold out in the 36 inch size, but I've got about 400 in the 51, and the yellow is only available in the 51. 225 of those. We had pink a while back, and those disappeared very, very quickly. Jennifer, it's always good to see your smiling face. You bring this element of sunshine to every one of my shows, and I want you to know how much that means. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure, Dan.
Be well. Bye-bye. When the product coordinators have to move these, it makes some noise. Here's something that is